They say, God doesn't want you to leave. I heard it from him, and I heard it from the church. I even heard it from leaders in the church who should have known better. But here's the truth they won't tell you. Leaving a spiritual narcissist is not leaving God. If you feel like leaving means walking away from your faith, you aren't crazy. You've been told your obedience to a husband or a wife is the same as your obedience to God. It's a lie. Today I'm going to give you the 5-step roadmap I use to break that bondage and reclaim my life and my faith. Leaving a narcissist is hard, but a spiritual one? That's a different level of hell. They don't just hold your heart, they hold your soul. They say, God needs you to stay with me. I lived this with a spiritual narcissist mother who was in ministry, and then a husband who used the word as a weapon against me. I'm sorry, but that type of narcissist, they leave a trail of broken families in their wake while claiming to be anointed. Step 1. Now, before you pack a bag, you have to reclaim your relationship with God, apart from them. Right now, you're reading the Bible through a twisted lens that the spiritual narcissist gave you to keep you small. Stop reading the verses they highlight. Go to Matthew 23. Read what Jesus said to religious leaders who crushed people. He called them whitewashed tombs, beautiful outside, full of death on the inside. Sound familiar? God is not the author of confusion. And he isn't the one telling you to stay in a place that's destroying you. Step 2, you need support outside their spiritual circle. The people inside that circle have already been fed a narrative that you are struggling or under attack. They won't see abuse. They'll see a wife or a husband who needs to pray more, who needs to give more, who needs to bend over backwards, who needs to be available sexually even though their spouse has been clearly cheating on them. They need to submit to their spouse. God has a different way of saying what submit is. So what I suggest is you find a therapist who understands religious trauma or a friend who doesn't go to your church. Seeking wisdom outside an abusive system isn't rebellion, it's survival. And it's not that the people in the church are being evil intentionally. It's that they've been sucked in or hoovered into the narcissist spell. Step 3, like I've said in so many other videos, you need to document everything. The private threats, the scripture twisting, the Jekyll and Hyde act after church service. You know, the spiritual narcissist will gaslight you later and say, I never said that. Your own words will be your anchor when the fog rolls in. Okay, so if you're planning your exit, will you drop a heart emoji in the comments below? Because, sweet one, you are not alone. Step 4, make a protected exit plan. Now, I'm not supporting divorce or separation of families, but this is abuse, and God does not expect you to submit yourself to abuse. This isn't a movie scene, it's a strategy. So, safety first. As I've mentioned before, if there's physical danger or you think there might be, call the domestic violence hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can text with them, you can get in their chat feature. Just have that number set aside in case you need it. And finances. They will use money to control you. So you need to open a separate account outside of their bank, and you need to make sure that the documents are paperless, so nothing goes to the home address. Gather your documents, passport, social security number, birth certificate, whatever you need for yourself, and if you have minor children, them as well. And here's the truth. Your narcissistic partner is not going to change. You can pray and fast and beg God to do these things for you. And maybe he will. But for a narcissist to change, they have to want to change. And narcissists don't believe anything is wrong with them. They believe it's you. They believe that you're the problem. Step 5 is the one nobody warns you about. the spiritual counterattack. When you leave, they don't just get angry. They get anointed angry. They will weaponize the church against you. They'll say, you're in rebellion. But hear me, and hear me very clearly right now. Any church that sides with an abuser is not a church you want to be a part of. God is not limited to that building. He'll meet you in your car, in your tears, in the parking lot. God isn't confused about who the abuser is, even if the pastor is. Now, I want to warn you that you're going to grieve. And it's not just the marriage or the relationship that you're going to grieve. You're going to grieve the community. On the other side of that grief is the real God, the one who offers rest, not more rules. God didn't create you to be a spiritual punching bag. He created you for freedom. So I have an ask. You don't have to subscribe or like this video, but if you know someone who is going through this right now, they're praying for a sign of what they should do, send them this video. Let them know that they're not crazy. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. God bless. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.